A nationwide alert has been issued, with the southwest particularly hard hit, with major companies forced to suspend operations. A record-breaking drought has caused some rivers in China to dry up, including parts of the Yangtze, affecting hydropower, halting shipping, and forcing major corporations to shut down. On Friday, a nationwide drought warning was issued as a long-running and severe heat wave in China's densely populated southwest was forecast to last well into September. For centuries, the Yangtze River in China was a raging torrent. According to media reports, the once raging river has dwindled to a trickle in the midst of a historic drought and heat wave. To those who rely on the river for water, energy, and employment, it's as if Mother Nature abruptly turned the spigot on a hose from on to off, with potentially disastrous consequences not only for China but also for the rest of the world. China is on the verge of a water catastrophe, the Council on Foreign Relations reported in its magazine, Foreign Affairs, this month. Given China's overarching importance to the global economy, potential water-driven disruptions in China would quickly reverberate through food, energy, and materials markets around the world, causing economic and political turbulence for years to come. The loss of water flow to China's vast hydropower system has triggered a grave situation in Sichuan, which relies on hydropower for more than 80% of its energy. The provincial government declared it to be at the particularly severe warning level on Sunday, with water flow to Sichuan's hydropower reservoirs dropping by half. According to local media, electricity demand has increased by 25% this summer. Hydropower cuts have reportedly impacted downstream populations, including Chongqing and Hubei province. Due to the shortage, Sichuan suspended or limited power supply to thousands of factories and rationed public electricity usage last week. Toyota, Foxconn, and Tesla are among the companies said to have temporarily halted operations at some plants in the last 2 weeks. The South China Morning Post, SCMP, reported on Sunday that plans to restart production this week had been postponed. The Yangtze River is the world's third-largest river, providing drinking water to over 400 million Chinese people and serving as China's most important waterway. It is also critical to the global supply chain, but it has reached record-low water levels this summer, with entire sections and dozens of tributaries drying up. Water flow on the Yangtze's main trunk is more than 50% lower than the 5-year average. Shipping routes in the middle and lower sections have also been closed, according to the SCMP. Authorities in China's affected regions are rushing to ensure water and power supply as the region approaches harvest season for water-intensive crops such as rice and soy. Authorities discharged 980 million cubic meters of water from reservoirs on Sunday in an effort to replenish lower river levels, according to state media. At least 2.46 million people and 2.2 million hectares of agricultural land have been affected by the drought in Sichuan, Hebei, Hunan, Jiangxi, Anhui, and Chongqing. According to China's Ministry of Emergency Management, more than 780,000 people have required direct government assistance as a result of the drought. Water has been trucked into areas where residential supplies have completely run out. According to the Emergency Ministry, high temperatures in July alone caused direct economic losses of 2.73 billion yuan, £340 million, affecting 5.5 million people. The water level in Chongqing fell, revealing previously submerged Buddhist statues thought to be 600 years old. China issued its first national drought warning in 9 years on Friday. According to Bloomberg, rainfall in the Yangtze River Basin is down 45% from last July, the lowest level since 1961. Since early July, a heat wave has caused scorching temperatures across large parts of the country. Several cities recorded temperatures of more than 104 degrees Fahrenheit last week, and state meteorologists issued a red alert heat warning for the 11th day in a row on Monday. The relationship between heat waves and drought is complex, but it is known that as temperatures rise, so does the sky's evaporative demand, causing it to absorb more water and creating drier conditions on land. Crop failures, power outages, and dangerously low reservoirs are caused by a lack of rain and a 70-day heat wave in parts of China. According to the Associated Press, the drought's impact on agriculture has been severe, with thousands of acres of crops damaged in Sichuan and neighboring Hubei province. In response, the Chinese government released water from several large upstream reservoirs, and the Ministry of Agriculture announced that it will attempt to artificially increase rainfall through cloud seeding and spray crops with a water-retaining agent. As temperatures rise, crops will require even more water as soils dry out. Forest fires broke out in Sichuan and neighboring Chongqing last week, but officials declared them contained on Monday. China is the world's largest carbon emitter, though the United States is first in terms of historical emissions, and the drought will most likely have an impact on the country's clean energy goals. According to The Guardian, Vice Premier Han Zhang stated that the country will increase coal consumption to address electricity shortages. Major rivers around the world are drying up as record-breaking heat waves take their toll, including the Rhine and Loire in Europe and the Colorado River in the United States. Bernice Lee, chair of the Chatham House Sustainability Accelerator in London, stated that societies, including China, have remained unprepared and underprepared for high-impact, low-probability. Looking ahead, the future could be even bleaker as the frequency of extreme weather events increases, events such as extreme droughts and heat waves. According to Dr. Faith Chan, the head of the School of Geographical Sciences at the University of Nottingham in Ningbo, China is committed to climate change adaptation and preparing for climatic extremes. However, it is difficult to predict the long-term economic impact of extreme weather. In the short term, electricity consumption is high and stressed, Chan explained. The Chinese government has repeatedly blamed the drought and heat wave on the climate crisis. Chen Lijuan, the country's National Climate Center's chief forecaster, described the combined heat wave and drought as a pressure cooker last week. We must accept that similar heat waves will occur more frequently in the future. It will become the new normal, Chen said. However, the immediate impact on electricity supplies has put Beijing's climate change commitments under strain. Last week, Vice Premier Han Zhang stated that the government would increase its support for coal-fired power generation. There are still warnings out for high temperatures and little rain. On Sunday, a red heat warning, the highest level of alert, was issued for large swaths of the country for the 10th day in a row. Drought has also caused changes in power generation capacity in other parts of the world. Hydropower is the world's largest source of clean energy, but dry spells in places like the southwestern United States, China, and Brazil disrupted supply last year, and the International Energy Agency predicts that global hydropower expansion will slow this decade. Brazil, which sourced 61% of its electricity from hydropower in 2021, had to cut water flows into hydroelectric dams to a 91-year low during that year's drought. People have always believed that water is limitless, but it isn't, José Marengo, a climatologist at the Brazilian government's Disaster Monitoring Center, told Reuters.